What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to the Connectors Corner, where we build everything on kingdom principle. I am your host, Drew Dockery. I'm a business coach, and I help sales pros and entrepreneurs not leave money on the table by doing three simple things. Number one is monetizing relationships. Number two, growing your network. And number three, making the proper connections. So today we're going to continue with our series on the three simple things. We broke down monetizing relationships. We broke down growing your network. So now we're breaking down making the proper connections. To me, this is the most important part when you're getting into different rooms. And in the book, The Connectors Handbook, shameless plug, if you don't have it, you definitely need to get that book. It's going to help you move and groove in those rooms of greatness. So in the Connectors Handbook, I talked about a concept I came up with called the $1 billion room. The $1 billion room experience is based on you making the proper efficient activity and right efficient activity in the first two phases of this whole process, doing those simple things. So to make those proper connections, this is where we start. So now we've gotten monetizing relationships. People are now ushering you into different rooms. And here we are. You're in the $1 billion room. You're ushered into the $1 billion room based on who you know because you've grown your network, right? Okay, so let's dig in. Making the proper connections, right? So in order to operate in the $1 billion room, I'm just using that as an example because that's a room that you pretty much get ushered into. But making the proper connections is going to start with you operating in something I call the A3 formula. The A3 formula, I did do a video. Go check that out. I'll break that down in like super minute details, or at least as much as I could on a YouTube video, right? So the first part of the A3 formula is attraction. The second part is acceptance. And the third part is acquisition. So I broke those down. Go check that out. You have to operate in the A3 formula. Acceptance, well, no, not acceptance. Attraction, then acceptance, and then acquisition. So you definitely want to make sure you get those fine-tuned so now you know how to show up when you get into those rooms or you get those opportunities to be ushered into a specific room that you're typically not privy to. So you operate under the A3 formula. So when I go into a room, I'm automatically looking to network, right? I know we talked about that before. So I don't take business cards. The reason why I don't take business cards is because I want a more solid connection with whoever I'm connecting with in the room. Typically, if there's 100 people at an event who's networking, I don't look to network with 100 people because that's just, you passing phone numbers out and meeting a bunch of different people. I can tell you right now, probably about 80% of the people in that room, they are not conducive for your business or whatever it is you're trying to put together, to be honest. Now, would they know some folks? It's a possibility, and I'm quite sure they do. But at that event, you're there with a specific intent. Your intention is to meet people who you can either add value to or they can add value to you. But either way it goes, you're going to meet them with a specific objective. You want to have something as a goal that you're looking to create or looking to do when you're connecting with these folks. So if I go into a room full of 100 people, I'm only looking to meet maybe 5 to 7 people, to be honest. And I don't carry business cards because a lot of times when you get a business card, I can tell you right now, if you give me a business card, I'll probably make sure that we have direct contact information with each other. Like you have my cell phone, my office number, or whatever, maybe later. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to get my cell phone number if I'm out networking and looking to connect with people, right? So I'll give you my cell phone number. We connect directly. I don't look at business cards after I get them. I use them as a way to identify you as a friend or a person or whoever I'm connecting with in business, to draw some, place of origin for how we created our relationship or how we started our relationship, just to get a gist of what you do. But other than that, I don't carry business cards, and I typically don't keep business cards. Once I get them, they go right in the trash. And you could even ask yourself this question: when is the last time you've actually gotten a business card from somebody and needed it right away, and actually was able to find it. And if you did need it right away or need it down the road, you had to go find it somehow. It's amongst a bunch of paperwork. It's amongst a bunch of bills at home. It's amongst a bunch of bank statements. You know what I mean? There's just plenty of things that you can lose a business card under. But my point is, it's non-existent after the moment you get it. You might look at it like, hey, this is a nice card. I like the texture of it. I like the design of it. But outside of that, it probably won't go any further than that, to be honest. So I usually make direct contact with people when I'm out and about, when I'm networking. And that's just typically how I build my businesses. I find that the most effective because I'm only looking to connect with a few folks in that room. Now, typically, the people that I meet, they could either help me in some way and we need to connect, or they know someone who could help me and we need to connect. But recently, as of late, because of the season of business that I'm in right now, I'm meeting a lot of people who need my help. I'm meeting a lot of people who actually need what I offer. And we can add value to each other because they also have contacts and connections. I have contacts and connections. So in exchange of us becoming comfortable with each other while networking in this particular room, I usher them into my world. I usher them into different rooms. I connect them with different people who may need what they offer, and they do the same for me. So now we're passing business. It's more of a giver's game. Zig Ziglar said, if you help enough people get what they want, eventually you'll get everything that you want. So I'm big on, making sure that my network is pretty much eating, for lack of better words. I want to make sure everybody makes money, everybody is doing something, especially if I can trust you when it comes to business. Now, the bad thing is I don't trust everybody that is in my network when it comes to business. Some people I don't pass business to at all, and they don't pass me into business. So it's no hard feelings. It's no hard feelings at all. I don't mind if you pass me business. Some of them got the book, some of them didn't. People I've supported business from, they didn't get the book. It's cool with me. I'm okay with that. Did they need the book? Absolutely. Because 9 times out of 10, the majority of them are really bad at what they do. But they have a premium product. They have a premium skill. So people do need to know about them. But at a certain point, it takes a certain level of development that you have to have when it comes to getting into this game of making money, being a business owner. It's not for the weak. Jim Rohn said, your income will seldomly outgrow your level of personal development, meaning you can't make more than you are. It's tough to do that. A lot of times, if you do that, and it happens, but a lot of people's income comes right back to where they are as a person. Hence, lottery winners, people who play the lottery, people who win big in the lottery, people who hit big at the casino, they quickly lose money. It's like they might not even have it, or they might not even really need it because of how, I would say, foolish they are with money. They're not good stewards over that kind of money, so they don't know what it's like to have that kind of money. So because of that, it's a waste, and they don't make the proper investments, and they don't keep the money for a long period of time. But I'm off on a tangent. So yeah, making the proper connections. We got the A3 formula covered, right? And you're not looking to connect with everybody in the room. Sorry, I'm grabbing my notes. I just want to make sure I get everything. I'm not going to get to everything. I can see that already. But the investment of time and conversation efforts will help you find out what they need. These people, these key people that you meet in this room, they're gonna need something, right? They're in business. They may not be operating at the fullest capacity of what they would love to operate at, and because of what you do, you may be helping them out with that. You bring value to the table in that manner, or your value may be just who you know. The good thing about this room, though, and working and operating in the A3 formula is you're already putting them in a place where you have direct rapport with them. You guys are communicating openly. Again, go back and check the A3 formula for attraction, acceptance, and acquisition. So you're pulling them into you as a person, who you are as a person, and what you do as far as being an entrepreneur or a sales professional. Then they accept you, and they decide to show you who they know or welcome you into their world, usher you into certain rooms. And then the acquisition phase is just you building business. So now you're making money. and you're doing that transaction constantly. Even if they don't buy from you directly at that moment or immediately at that moment, they'll definitely connect you with somebody who probably will be more ready to buy what it is that you offer or take part in your service or whatever. But operating under that formula, it should guide you and connect you with the right people because you're in the proper environment. And that's what I'm talking about, making the proper connections. I was at a couple different networking events last month. I don't think I did anything this month on the networking side too much. I had to do a lot of logistic stuff for business this month. But, however, I was at the event, and I can tell a lot of people are just, passing out business cards, and they're just talking to people, and they're quick to tell everybody about themselves. That is not proper networking. When I go network, I want to find out what it is that you do, who you are as a person, and how I can help you is what I'm thinking about while you're talking to me. So that way we can have a discussion, we can have a conversation about what you do, and at a later date, maybe a couple of days later, I'll reach out, and now you'll probably be more apt to hear what it is that I do or how I can help you, because I've listened to you. I've heard what you had to say. I've heard maybe some of the difficulties of your industry, some of the problems you're having in business. And I typically tell everybody the same thing. It's pretty much, for lack of a large network, you don't know enough people and you don't know enough of the right people, which is why it's good to make proper connections, because that'll connect you with enough people and it'll connect you to the right people while you're doing those things. So this is just the third part of the 3 simple things. So the first is monetizing relationships, obviously. Number 2 is growing your network, obviously. And number 3 is making the proper connections. So I hope you guys can really understand this concept. And if you have any comments for me, like, share, comment, put it below so that way we can start another dialogue or start a conversation about it, because I know this is something a lot of business people miss. One of the videos I did, I think it was the bag talk with my sons. We talked about why I did the book. The book came out because it was me constantly seeing people who are in sales and they're horrible at it. You don't want to be that person. You don't want to be that guy, that lady who's in sales or in business and you are horrible at what you're doing. People are going to buy business because of you. You are your brand. Yes, you might have a company name. Yes, you have a product name, but you are your brand. Today's era, we're way past the phases where somebody can own $1 billion company and nobody knows who they are. Nobody pays them any attention. Nobody wants to find out what they're doing or how they're investing or how they're living their lives. It happens all the time now because of social media. It's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a gift and a curse. But at the same time, you still have to have some credibility, who you are as a human being and how you operate as a person, that makes people want to do business with you. People are going to do business with people that they know, like, and trust. So the question is, can I know, like, and trust you enough to want to give you my money in exchange for your service or your product? It was just in the news, I guess, recently about, sports news, athletic news, about, I think it was one of the owners or something like that of a team who was fined a hefty chunk of money, but he was fined because of how he operated on his private life or in his private life. And right now, because everything is so exposed, you can't really just do stuff like that privately and think that there's no repercussion for it. And for him, he's paying the price. Now, yeah, he's got billions. So that, couple $1 million, $10 million fine or whatever it was, it's not going to hurt him too bad. But at the same time, who wants to be fined $10 million? Who wants to be fined $100 million just because the way you do things and operate privately? So, yeah, things have to change. I know we're in a place where things are changing steadily. And I'm just looking to see how everything is going to progress, because the business field is a lot different than the way it was 5 years ago, to be honest. 7 years ago, 2 years ago even. Things are a lot different because of how we're operating now since, I would say, the pandemic, or the world's pandemic in 2020. So, that's what I have for you guys today. And I hope it was helpful. Hope you got something from it. I look forward to hearing some of your feedback and seeing what you guys have for. What are you thinking? Like, how does this make you think? Is this making you change how you operate in business on any level? Because these are free tips. I mean, like I said, I know plenty of people who are getting these things and they're implementing them immediately, and they're making crazy money or seeing some major results. I don't mean, no. They're not, I don't know if they're making crazy money or not. All I'm saying is they're getting great results from what it is that we talk about over here at the Connectors Corner. So with that being said, I look forward to hearing from you guys soon. Whew, the next thing we're gonna do is the next bag talk. I gotta find out how we're gonna do that. If you're interested and you're a business owner, sales professional in Western New York, reach out to us, connect with us, let us know how we can add some value together and possibly have you on a bag talk session. We'll definitely want to pick your brain and see how you moving and grooving in these streets out here, getting this bread. You feel me? So with that being said, like I tell you guys all the time, man, dream bigger, believe better, and expect greater. I'll talk to you soon.